Hi, I'm Sandy Schreck for Lembush Roses, and today the trend that we're looking at is Allure. It's one of those golden glam iridized looks, and as you look into something like a pearlescent finish, what you see is a little bit of lavender tones on the back side. Lavender is going to be a big color going forward into 2015. So today we're taking that fall trend and really adding that golden influence into it, taking some of those pearlized finishes and really looking at designs with unique textural elements within them and looking at that rose gold and some of the gold iridescent. The first design we'll look at is one of those big ooh-ah designs that's done. Heather from A to Zinnia did this one for me. And she's used a combination. We've got some of the creamy stock and the different roses in there. Used some of the preserved green artichoke and then some of the soteria. And adding in some cremins. So that's one thing, where Fuji's and cremins and football mums, they used to just be used in sympathy work. Now we're seeing a lot of those mums come on the rise. And there's different shapes and unique features about them. So here we've used the cremins as one of the focal flowers within the design, but really brought that fluffy design in, and some of the Dusty Miller still we've seen in design work. And then the gray greens on this of the seeded eucalyptus kind of tie together with that Dusty Miller to bring that romantic look. And then just a little bit adding beyond this is a variety of the shades of the cream. Our next design features more of that iridescent look. Here we've got an amber iridescent candlestick in glass that we've used one of the gold pillars in, and then just used one of the design rings from Smithers Oasis and added that onto that pillar and then designed into that. Now of course it does have quite a small water reservoir. And so when you're designing into those small rings, you want to make sure that your insertion goes with the foam, so it angles with the foam. So rather than going straight up and down, you're doing those insertions angled so that they go into the foam, and you have that placement. That can be useful in any of your designing of your wreaths and stuff, so that you have a little bit more secure placement on that. Here we've added just the richness of the plumosa and combination of the tie leaves, so a little bit different textural element. Here we've got some of the lavender roses being featured in here, just to bring that lavender edge into the design. Our next design that we're looking down into, you can see a variety of textures. So we've got the warm tones of the preserved artichokes right up in the focal area. And then we go and look into some of the Peruvian starflower that we grow here at Lembush. In this case, I've cut it up and you're able to use those side shoots. They have a really strong stem, so you're able to spread that out throughout. And then we're using roses in contrast with the leucadendron. The leucadendron really brings in that kind of warm tone, brings in a richness with some of the dark chocolates. And then we just added some pearl picks in to just really give that contrast in texture. As you can see, just the little bowl here, we've got pearls in a stone etched bowl, like an aged bowl. And just looking at how that contrast plays on each other is really what this story is all about. Allure brings you into the design. So showing those contrasts in texture will really bring you into those designs. Mercury glass is another element that's not going to go away. But now we're seeing, this is a new container from Accent Decor, where you've got that mercury glass coming in some gold shades. So it really adds still the elegance of mercury glass, but bringing in that champagne. On the golden, it takes on multi-textural tones and really can look darker, the darker colors that you put in with it, or more like a rose gold if you're putting whiter or lavender colors in with it. So you can see here how the combination of these pearlized containers, and these are from UCI, the different containers, but the different pearlized finishes and adding that gold element and the texture within the vase and just having those extra elements within your containers is a great way to just give extra value and show your customers that you're really on trend. Here we've added some natural curly ting that has the pearl beads on it. So it brings in that natural element and adds some motion into your design. A really strong line placement done with the gold grass right up through the middle. And then just done groupings of 3 here with the lavender roses up and down. And then some of the Peruvian starflower and the chocolate lace. Brown cymbidiums are another thing where you could add into this and just bring in a little bit more brown tone. In this design down in front here, we've added some of the brown in with the protea flower. And you can see that the sheltering is done with the plumosa. On that plumosa, of course, you do need to do some tailoring on that plumosa to thin down some of the lines so that you don't have plumosa going every which way if you're using it with that sheltered effect. On here we also did the combination where we've got some of the stock and then the white carnations down deep. So I've got white roses up on top, more of the creamy French cream roses, and then white carnations tucked down in that give kind of that hydrangea feel, but it also makes the value money flowers feel like there's more of them. So we're able to keep those money flowers up on top and still do the repetition. Here we added a permanent wreath that is just placed on one of the pearlized containers. As you look here, you see a variety of colors in the color tones. So you've got the chocolate ice vase that's from Smithers Oasis, the champagne glass cylinder from Syndicate Sales, and then the etched gold container from UCI. That just sees in those containers those different textural elements that we have just by bringing in some of those creative containers and using them adds that textural element. One of the plants that we see increase in popularity, of course, is the Phalaenopsis orchid. Here we've taken just an awesome ceramic container with a textural finish. We've added a pebble layer so that we have a drainage layer in there, and then just place the orchid in a simple placement. And that way we're able to bring those orchids into our home and allow our customers, teach our customers that they just should add a couple ice cubes every week and let that melt in, and that'll be enough to keep their orchids alive. But with the popularity of Great Gatsby and the rise of the gold containers, we're definitely going to see a lot of elegance brought in. So here we just have a simple, clean, white enclosed candlestick that we have, a nice pearlized candle, but it brings a place setting down into this great table design. So it may not be more of a traditional fall look, but with the kale and the little bit of hints of lavender, and then bringing that creamy, it's more of a look that is a home decor look. And so it might not be traditional fall, but we are definitely going to see a rise in these colors for the coming season into 2016. I really like the French cream rose here, and we just used the variegated tie leaves and created a looped effect across the middle, added 2 of the focals with the blooming kale, and then bringing in some of the Peruvian starflower that we just brought in groupings. So everything's brought into groupings to add more value one to the other. And rather than dotty, and I've got white roses over in here, and then lavender roses only over in that area. The extreme Alstro is brought into both sides, but it really gives more of that architectural look to the design. The next plant that we found today in the greenhouse here at Lembush is one of the blush Gnathitis, and it really brings in those color tones in a natural, hybridized plant material. It just has that little bit of a hint of lavender with the green undertones. I thought it was an amazing tie-in and just really brings that elegance. Allure is all about golden glam, that iridescent finish that brings in the lavender on the back side, adding those rich pearl tones and the rose gold and champagne tones, and really elevating your design work. So I hope you enjoy Allure and bring it into your shops and allure your customers right in. With that, I'm Sandy Schreck for Lembush Roses.